Ooh, do you know what this means? Z, zombie horse, last two abilities, and I'm done. That is all passive mobs and all two abilities completed. Ah, a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be. Coming up with everything, right? So we did 33 different entities, two abilities each, so that's 66 abilities done. Now, in terms of getting everything else done, neutral has far less. Granted, they have three each now, but it's still less, and then same with hostile, right? 31. But the great thing with hostile and neutral is I can be a bit more creative, so to speak, right? For instance, hostile, they just have to be damaging or negative or bad, and I don't have to worry about, for instance, a good example is ocelots. So ocelots have the ability to generate loot, right, through their offering ability. So I have to make sure to balance it in a way where the player can't just round up a bunch of ocelots, stick them in a corner, and use them to generate or farm something, right? Whereas with a just damage or effect ability, super easy. Just does an effect, just does damage, and we're done. But we'll save this, we'll reload the data pack, right? So I just click this button now, and hopefully, if I go function, Runechant, mob, it's hard to remember. Oh, no, apparently I'm wrong. Because Runechant's wrong. So I get Runechant, mob abilities, right? And then activation passive. So it's still there. It's wonderful. Means that they're all working. And we can just take a look at them all, right? Hey, Donkey, can you use yours for me? Right. What do I need to do? Scoreboard, player, add an E. So, no, distance equals 0.01, so it will exclude us because we don't need a score. And we'll do 3. Right, that should do. Then it is normal ability, and we want to set it to 1700. I think that should be fine. Alright, so use Giddy Up. There we go. So Donkey uses Giddy Up. And says, let's ride. Right, so not that we can see what's happening, but the Donkey gets a speed boost. Now, I do want a lot of the abilities to feel secretive, right? So it's a task to figure out what they all do. But there are some straightforward ones. Let's see if we can see his other ability. Lucky Find, so that's actually us proccing Lucky Find. So instead of the mob just cycling back through, so every passive mob has 3 actions, if you will, right? They can either use 2 abilities or they re-roll, right? And their timer gets reset to a random number and it counts up and then they use an ability again, right? But if it procs that no roll, if you will, the player, depending on their luck, has a chance to proc a luck ability. In this case, we got Lucky Find. You attempt to scavenge something off a nearby entity. It most likely just gave me leather, right? That's pretty much how I got all the leather. So, yeah, pretty cool, right? Again, I want to make luck beneficial. Well, we got some bad rolls there. So you can see the cooldown passive every time that rolls around is the Donkey trying to use its ability. So finally, we got Lucky Find. Unfortunately, it's leather again. I want you to use your other ability, because your other ability is pretty cool. Did you just headbutt yourself? I think you bumped into the fence and that headbutted yourself. Right, because headbutt was meant to affect us. I think if I jump in here with you, we're not close enough for the headbutt, maybe? I might have to increase the range. That's the other fun thing, is I will have to balance everything. Why is it giving 2 entities? Hopefully it's not giving us. You know what? Use headbutt again for me. I want to show it off properly. Come on. It's like slots, unfortunately. Right, it's rolling around. Let's just specify a bit better as well. We'll go to 1. No entity, so we're not close enough. If I go to 2, so I'd like it to... No, it's still doing 2 entities, so I feel like it's still doing us. Even though I know 0.01 works for normal entities. Interestingly. We'll do 1 to 2. No, it's still doing 2 entities. What? I don't know what the other entity is, but I just want you to use your ability. Come on. Been standing here for too long now. Alright, I want to get to the other mobs. Just headbutt me, please. And let's be done with it. At least this is a decent feel, right? Because I do want passive mobs and their abilities to be a little bit uncommon. Right. Headbutted me. We both got pushed back. But it did damage to you. So that is not quite right. But I'm curious about this one. Because it says execute as, so I'm doing it correctly. Entity 0.01, so it shouldn't select the donkey. To 2, it should select us. It excludes the rider if someone's on the donkey, and then it damages that player. So Easiest way to test this, though, is if we just execute it as us, right? If we go into game mode survival. Yeah, so it doesn't do damage to us because it excludes us because of the distance range. Right? If I turn this off at 0.01, now it does damage to us. So you must be taking damage just because you're getting pushed. Surely. That has to be the issue. Yeah. But if we go back to I might also have to increase the range of 2 blocks. Right, not doing damage to us. If we stand close enough, I think it should be close enough. Does damage to the donkey. Anyway, so the donkey headbutts. Donkey goes forward, we go backwards, and take damage. Pretty fun. You just did it again. You have to be headbutting this, right? That's the only way you're taking damage, surely. Anyway, let me set something up, to go through a few different entities. I'll probably spawn them in with no AI, just to make it nice and simple, so we can see their different abilities. Right, this should be fine. So, ally friend, right, and we'll just spawn in a bunch of different ones. I don't know. Bats, sure, why not? Do some chickens. That's actually blanket, right? What is a passive mob? We'll do the sniffer, because that's the fun one. Why not? Anything else? Some of them just start proccing sooner or later. Fox. And one more, right? So we have 6. What should we do? We'll look through the list. We can do camel? No. Creeper? Not passive. There we go. Right. 6. We sit in the middle here. Should start proccing their abilities. Right. Shouldn't have taken the scoreboard down, actually. We do want to be in the middle because they all have various ranges. Right, because I don't want to flood the chat with abilities, but I do want people to, if they're in range to be affected by the ability, then there we go, Unearth, perfect. By all means, let it tell. So Sniffer uses Unearth, Sniffer digs up a bunch of seeds, look at that. Right, we've got some grass, we've got some pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, cocoa beans, even the pitcher pod and the torch flower, right? Isn't that a little bit better than chasing them around and getting, one? Not to, that's a little bit. And how's that helpful? Ally used Here You Go, teleports to us and grabs all the items with it. That uses Echo. We now have night vision. Not that it's night, so I can't really show that off. It's beautiful. Love it when things start working, right? Sniffer does have another one as well. I'll stay in the middle, right? The other thing with the Sniffer is it did trigger off of luck. We got 2 lucky finds. What do we get off the fox? We got some chicken. If we clear our inventory and we remove our luck, at all, we should stop getting the lucky find trigger, and also if the sniffer unearths again, it should only be the normal generic seeds. It won't be the pitcher pod or the torch flower. Why, thank you for coming to me, ally, but there's nothing else. Echo again, right? We actually saw the particle there, though, so that's night vision. Who haven't we seen? We haven't seen the fox, turtle, or chicken. Oh, there's the unearth. So as you can see, the pitcher pod and whatnot are not there anymore. We just have the normal seeds in the grass. But there's a way now to get grass, right, without silk touch. Come on. One of you 3. Ooh, do something. Allow me to make sure that everything works. Oh, here you go. Yes, thank you. And also, as you can see, they're all proccing. Different intervals, different times, which is great randomization instead of just flooding. Beautiful. Unearth again. Okay. Now I'm starting to worry that the fox and turtle and chicken are not working. Why don't we have a look? If we go functions, Runechant, always too quick on the E. Mob, abilities, then passives. Someone just teleported me. And then we want chicken. It's not there, so they're broken. Fox, yep. And turtle. Turtle works, so turtle should be using his abilities. We'll sit by you for a little bit and see. Come on. Unless I mess up and you're not actually getting the timer. At least everyone else is going good. Echo still. We got the suspicious sand drop, but as you can see, he's floating, so they all got destroyed. Otherwise, you could dig them up. They are the different loot tables from all the different areas. No custom loot tables just yet, but you can find, goodies in them, which is good. Right? Gives them a dual purpose, something that, in all honesty, if you're introducing a mob that digs, right, along with another update, right, that introduces archaeology and the ability to use brushes to scan gravel and sand that come from the ground. Why did the sniffer not have some sort of interaction with that? Just, a little nitpicking. Come on, turtle. Just use something. There we got harden off of it. It's good enough. Oh, this one's not set to true. I need to correct that as well. Because again, I don't want particle effects to be evasive. So we got the turtle says harden. You feel protected by some of the turtle's shedded scoots. Echo, the bat's screeching helps illuminate the area. Here you go, the ally brings everything to you on Earth. Sniffer digs up a bunch of seeds. Anything else new? No. Oh, and the lucky find. You attempt to scavenge something off a nearby mob. But the other thing to note, right? We saw the sniffer do the other unearth, but we didn't get the prompt, right? So all entities are going to be using their abilities when the player is not near them, right? So if they're loaded in the world, they will essentially interact with one another, right? Some of the mobs will have abilities. The Iron Golem, for instance, might have abilities to damage mobs other ways than just, hitting and tossing. So all of these will just work in the background, and you might just come across a sniffer who has a bunch of suspicious sand with it. Something like that. Well, actually, no, you have to hatch the sniffer. There's no natural generations. That was a bad example, but you get the point I'm trying to make. Anyway, that is passive mobs finally done. Getting there, right? Probably back to Magic next week, so I can start finishing off stuff. Oh, we got Rabid. The reason it's in yellow is, as you can see, it has affected everyone, right? Also, needs to be set to true. So everything nearby enters a frenzy. Actually, no, this one, no, because it should show up for everyone. But it did undo our infinite strength. Yeah, it's kind of weird like that, right? So, side note, obviously. The infinity gets overridden, right? If you introduce a stronger version of strength, or override infinity, because infinity is negative. If you obviously give yourself something with the particles turned on, then infinity all of a sudden turns particles on, right? Isn't that kind of weird? Anyway, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.